What's up, guys? Welcome back to Fix Your Form with me, Brian Lapine, back here at Fitness Fusion. So today we had a request to fix your form on the Turkish Getup. So thank you, Kala, for recommending the exercise, and hope this helps a lot. Same goes to anybody else who wants to see another exercise and how to do it properly. Make sure you comment below or let me know in person. Either way, certainly let me know and I'll cover it for you. So I just got done with a workout outside, which was one of our fused workouts, and it contained the Turkish Getup. And I noticed there was quite a few people who were close, but not exact, and that's even with coaching during the class. So I figured I wanted to really break it down bit by bit. First, let's go over the visual and overview of the Turkish Getup. You can do this exercise with a kettlebell or a dumbbell, it doesn't matter, take your pick. If you use a kettlebell, it's going to be draped over the back of your hand and your wrist like so. You're going to start on the floor, and I'll show you from two angles. First from the side. If I have the weight in my right hand, my right knee is going to be bent, my heel's in towards my butt, and my left leg is angled out a bit, but straight, and then my arm is at about a 45-degree angle. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and across using my core onto my forearm. Then I'm going to come up onto my hand and bring it in closer to my hip. And from this position, I'm going to lift my hips up, pull the leg through, kneel tall, and stand tall, and now I'm going to reverse it. Knee down, hand, leg through, forearm, and all the way down. Okay, from the front, just so you can see those angles a little bit better, I've got my right arm has the weight again, so my right knee is going to be bent. Left leg out, come up first onto my forearm, bring my hand in, lift the hips, pull the leg through, kneel tall, stand tall, and then reverse. Knee, hand, leg through, forearm, and down. Okay, so the targeted muscle groups on this one. A lot of people say they can't feel it in any particular muscle. This is an overall total body workout, so you're not targeting really any one muscle in particular. You're certainly working your core, you're certainly working your legs, your arm, your shoulder, but what this exercise is best for is muscle stabilization, joint stabilization, okay? The shoulders having to hold that weight up there the whole time, really tough. Your core having to keep your body stiff from all those different positions, really tough. So it's working more the stabilizers than anything. So you should maybe not just feel it in one muscle, but all over. Certainly in your cardiovascular system, your heart rate should be pumping because it does hit so many body parts at the same time. So next, let's go on to some ways that people do it wrong, and we'll show you how to fix it. Okay, mistake number one, and this one I see probably most often, is that people will try to master the whole move and tackle the whole thing right from the get-go without mastering the individual parts first. So I like to break it down into 5 parts, pretty easy to remember, and I'll run you through those 5 parts right now. I'll show you from another angle here too. So I'll have the weight in my right arm, so my right knee's up, but now I'm going to face the other way so you can see from another side. So part 1 is to the forearm using your core to drive up and across. Part 2 is to the hand. Part 3 is lift and knee through. Part 4, kneel tall. Part 5 is stand tall. And then reverse it. Part 1 is kneel, 2 is hand, 3 is leg through, 4 is forearm, and part 5 is down. So really important to try the individual parts first and see how you do. If you can't get past, say, part 3, the tricky part where you lift your hip and pull your leg through, then you're going to stop there and then go back down. And I'll show you in the modification section later the different places you can stop on this. But master the individual components before you try to do the whole thing. If your sticking point is 3, guess which one you should be practicing? Number 3, right? So you can just pick up your hips, drive your leg through, and put it back and down. Keep going until you get the range of motion down, you get the feel for it down. And that's honestly the biggest thing I'll see on this one, so make sure you guys really slow it down. Master the components first. Okay, mistake number 2 that I see is that people will go too fast, so they don't break down those individual components we just talked about. They're going to rush through the whole thing, and I'll show you what it looks like. Usually this is a component of using too little weight, so if it's not heavy enough, you can fly right through the whole thing. So if you don't have heavy enough weight, and you can go straight to your butt from here without doing that first 2 full sections, you'll see people go like that, and this is too light for me, but it's just for the sake of the video. You want to force yourself to have to go to here first, and then to the hand. So you don't want to go right up, and then sometimes you'll even see people go right to standing. So they skip like 3 out of the 5 parts, right? Slow it down, break it down. Heavier weight might be needed to, push you into that correct form, and that's totally fine as long as you can maintain the straight arm, right? But slow it down. Don't skip any steps. If it's too light and you can sit straight to your butt, then you got to go up and wait. Or you can keep the lighter weight, just ensure that you are slowing it down and doing all those steps. Okay, mistake number 3 is angling your arm anywhere other than straight up at any point in the whole exercise, along with too much angle, too much flexion in your elbow. It's going to make it exponentially harder on your arms than it would otherwise, right? So if I have my weight, and I'll show you from the front so you can see the angle of my arm a little bit better from here. And if the whole time I'm like this, my triceps are working a lot harder than if my arm was locked with my joints stacked one over another. That's the easiest position for your arm to be in, is straight arm joint stacked, wrist over elbow, elbow over shoulder. Okay, so straight, and then the other thing that you want to see is straight to the ceiling with the arm. If at any point your arm is angled out to the side, any direction, it's going to get exponentially harder on your shoulder than it should be. So if you can't keep that arm straight up, lower the weight, increase the range of motion in your shoulder, and then perfect the exercise. If you have a hard time getting to that point, it's totally normal, so don't freak out about it. Especially when you go from this position to this position, keeping that arm straight up from here and then to there. That's the hardest part, and same with the way down. When you go back to here and then to the floor. It's very tough, but make sure you're keeping that arm straight up. It's going to be easier overall, believe it or not. If your weight is angled out to the side, heck of a lot harder, that's just physics, than straight up over that joint. Okay, and the last big mistake number 4, is the positioning of your body throughout the exercise. It's tough to be mindful of this while you're going, but you have to try. So I'm going to run you through it, and I'm going to pinpoint some of the important positions for your body to stay in. So the first thing is that this knee is bent, but it's not straight in front, it is angled off to the side. This leg being straight isn't straight in front of me, but angled out. All right, and then when I come up onto my forearm, I want to bring my hand in on the next step closer to my hip. This is going to allow for a larger range of motion when I drive up. If I come up to here and then my hand stays out there, it's really a tough position. I have to slide it in. This brings my chest prouder, keeps my back nice and flat, and then I can more easily pull the leg through, and notice where my knee ends up. It's directly underneath my hip. So I can go straight to kneel tall, and then I can go straight to stand. When I pull my leg through, if I'm angled and my knee is not underneath my hip now, right? This is really hard for me to get to that next step. So the main point is that your knee has to end up right under, so you can kneel tall and then stand tall. The same thing is true with your foot that stays planted. This foot doesn't move the whole time either when you think about it. I got to this point, stand tall, reverse it. Every time, this foot doesn't move even once. But I'm also seeing people come up to this point, and when they pick up their hips, they come up onto the toes rather than keeping their heel down and planted. So you have to drive up, keep that heel down instead of coming up onto the toes. So be mindful of that. That's a problem that happens all the time. People don't even know they're doing it. So as a coach, I'm always saying it, heel down, drive to the heel. They don't even realize it. So if you're by yourself, you got to make sure you're conscious of it and focus on that. Okay, finally we made it to the modifications section. So clearly the full Turkish Getup is really a tough exercise. There's so many components to it. There's so much form to think about, positioning, what's tight, what's not. So if you're just starting out, I want you to modify into a different move. It's the same move, but it's just a segment of this move. It's a small portion. I break it down into 4. I call it the quarter getup, the half getup, the 3/4 getup, and then the full getup. So I don't know if that's the scientific technical term, but that's what I use, and it usually works pretty well. It makes sense. You get up 1/4 of the way, half of the way, 3/4, or all of the way, okay? So the quarter getup would be first. I'll try to show you from the best visual here. The quarter getup, all you're gonna do is come up to your forearm and then the hand. That's it. Focus on pulling that hand in when you get to the top. So you're gonna go forearm, and notice I'm nice straight line from my elbow across and up. And then slide the hand in when you come up to the hand. Chest is proud, back is flat. The half getup adds one more step to it. So it's gonna be get to the quarter position, and now we're going to just drive up through both heels, remember, not toes. Squeeze our butt, and then back down. That's the half. So again, forearm, hand, drive, squeeze your butt, and down. Next is 3/4 getup. So you add those first 2 together, and you do the knee through to kneel tall, and then bring it back down. And last but not least is the full, which you've seen a million times already on this video. From this 3/4 position, you just bring it full circle by standing tall, and then back down to finish. So those are the modifications of the getup. Go with whatever works best for you. Make sure there's no pain, no discomfort. Make sure you can control it. The more you practice it, the better you're gonna get at it. So practice, practice, practice. It's an awesome exercise for core and shoulder stabilization, total body. It's really one of my favorites. We use it in class all the time. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching Fix Your Form. Let me know if you want to see an exercise covered. I'm happy to help and try to fix your form for you. And do me a favor, if you don't mind, hit that like button on the YouTube. And subscribe if you haven't, if you want to see more exercise tutorials. So we'll see you guys hopefully very soon on Fix Your Form.